Hello, my name is Matthew, or the Book Doctor. This is meant to be an introductory video, but I will admit this is actually my fourth attempt, which, I don't know, maybe it doesn't sound that bad, but I'm not terribly technologically savvy. I love to read. One of my favorite things to do is to just simply have a delicious cup of coffee or tea and read a good book by the window, especially on a rainy day or a snowy day. But I don't tend to be very technologically savvy, so this is my fourth attempt at a video. I don't have editing software as of right now, so I'm trying to have a reasonably good one take. So if the video is a little bit grainy, if the audio is a little bit bad, or if there's anything inconsistent or inarticulate about my speech, it's just because I don't really have the editing software yet. Hopefully that's to come. We'll see. This is an experiment because I mean, obviously, like so many people, I watch a lot of YouTube. I love watching movie reviews on YouTube. I love watching book rankings on YouTube, book reviews, interviews with actors, directors, actresses, and authors. That's actually mostly what I use YouTube for, and maybe occasionally lectures. Probably kind of boring by some people's standards, but I enjoy it. So, but having said all of that, I am absolutely new to actually trying a YouTube channel. So this is experimental, and we will see how it goes. I don't necessarily have any kind of grand plan. The focus really is just to talk about books. I love talking about books. I love talking about books and movies in conversation with other people. I have found that usually people don't really like it as much as I do, so they kind of change the conversation after a little while, and then I feel like a beached whale because I don't have a lot of conversational prowess outside of books and movies. I've done an incredibly deep dive, almost by compulsion or obsession, into books and movies, so I can talk for hours about those subjects, but when it comes to other things, I tend to be dreadfully ignorant. So, that'll be the purpose of this channel. Now, I do tend to prefer literary fiction. So, for classics that have been out for a long time, there's probably not always a lot new that I can add to the discussion, but it is really fun to rank those kinds of books, to do top 10 lists, top 20 lists, perhaps. And I do have at least one planned that will very likely be my second video in this series. But I'd also like to do book reviews. I do like science fiction and fantasy and mystery. I like genre writing. Sometimes I find the writing to be weak, which can kind of hurt the story for me, or the characters of the plot might be formulaic or cliche. Sometimes, and of course, that could be true of literary fiction as well, undoubtedly. But especially when dealing with classics, sometimes the lesser quality material has just kind of been sifted out over the years, over the decades, or even centuries. With newer books, they haven't always had to withstand the test of time quite yet, so sometimes it's a little bit harder to weed out the ones perhaps that are a little bit less good. But I do like genre writing. I love Raymond Chandler. I love H.P. Lovecraft. There are fantasy authors such as Brandon Sanderson that I have definitely enjoyed. Although I will admit, Brandon Sanderson, I know he's a huge fantasy author right now. I've read 4 of his books. I definitely enjoyed 2 of them. One a little bit more than the other. The other 2 I didn't really enjoy that much. I won't say which ones for now because that might become a video later. But I do like genre writing, and it's not in any way my intention to exclude genre books from this channel. The only genre books that I will exclude is probably romance novels. Hate romance novels. But otherwise, I enjoy science fiction, fantasy, and I enjoy mystery. This won't be in any way an original take, but one science fiction author I really like, for example, is Andy Weir. Now, the reason I mention this is, even though it's, like I said, it's not a hot take, a lot of people do right now, but I read Project Hail Mary last fall. You know, this video, if you're coming to it, and it's a little bit old at this point, this video, I'm making this in 2026, so last fall will be 2025, and around the time they started debuting the previews for Project Hail Mary, and I was getting kind of annoyed because people were just praising and drooling over this book, and it was really getting on my nerves, so I decided to read it just so I could tear it apart. Just so no one could say, oh, but you haven't read it, so you can't criticize. I wanted to read it, so I wanted to know what I was talking about, and then tear it apart. But I got into it, and I was thinking, this is actually pretty good. And, of course, I ended up loving the movie as well. So that was my gateway into Andy Weir. So hopefully, or at least I like to think, that I can be objective. Well, yeah, I like to think so, but of course, it's probably not really true. I come at things subjectively, whether I realize it or not, I suppose. But that will be the goal of this channel. and hopefully it'll be fun. The comments will always be appreciated. And until then, the end.